me prepare myself for recording. So if we are clear what, why, and how to end suffering, if I'm really interested, the mind is ready. And that how to bring an end to that suffering includes fear, insecurity, reaction, conflicts within me. And the second goal should be that how to awaken to that inner peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. So, what will happen? It changes our behavior and attitude. It changes our thought, speech, and action. In every situation, in every condition, in every relationship. So, all the three aspects, if you merge them together, it is known as the highest state of meditation or mindfulness. Mindfulness or meditation is not just sitting with the closed eyes and the mind is struggling and fighting with you only. Nobody knows. Are you fighting with yourself? We know internally. And you may hide this inner conflict. It will definitely come out in thought, speech, and action. Do whatever you want to have. So, that is why we are learning the different principles to understand our mind, body, complex, our the way the mind causes the suffering. Because once we know this cause, we can understand and we can remove it. After all, we have to live in the same world. Buddha spent almost 6 years, what we say in penance and in austerity and practicing meditation, but he returned to the same world. I have to return to the same world. Well, you all are wise, so if you have understood that, my mind must change and it should live in that state of the change 24/7. It is not that, okay, I'm very happy with you and I'm unhappy with the other. I believe you all are getting. So this is the problem in the mind. This is not the problem with anyone else outside. So that is what we understood in the last two sessions, that this me world, me, is based on all my experiences of pain, suffering, reaction, frustration. It is happening in my mind. Why it happening in my mind? That is what the first understanding. Perhaps last week or before that. The word enters the mind with the three illnesses that I made it clear. If you remember, attachment, detachment, that results into sorrow and the suffering and results into delusion. Delusion means the wrong understanding. What is wrong understanding? That you are responsible for my problem. That is the wrong understanding. How come it is? Because the mind has entered into Now the word has entered into me like a COVID virus. When I understand it, there is a clarity. When there is a clarity, then what happens? Then I'm ready to change that mindset. Otherwise, unhappiness, dissatisfaction, in sense of incompleteness will continue in our life. It is not that we should change our mind in a particular situation, condition with a particular people. No, I must change the mind inside. How it responds to the people, the world outside, to the situation, to the condition. That is, now see that change. We can give one example. I think I gave that example. The heat is not the nature of an iron. But if you heat that iron, it becomes red hot. But the iron is neither red nor hot. You leave it. So when you leave the iron in an open air, it becomes cold again. It loses the redness, it loses the heat. By default, iron is not hot. By default, fire is not cold. So this example raises a question that what is my nature? That is how, our masters have taught us step by step. Now, question comes, if I have understood this, is my nature anger, hesitation? Is my nature fear? Is my nature dissatisfaction? Is my nature unhappiness? You accept all these, that they are your nature, then please live in frustration, live in suffering, no remedy. But if they are not my nature, then I have to find out what is my nature. So see the logic. Every step we put the right reasoning in order to find our nature. So like example of an iron. Why I feel discomfort, why I feel that I want to get rid of the fear, unhappiness, dissatisfaction, because they are not my nature. If anything, any of them is my nature, then I don't want to get rid of it. Iron is cold, fire is hot, so they don't want to. Well, you can complete the sentence yourself. Fire, hot. It will never be cold in any situation, any circumstances, with anyone. So same thing when I feel that frustration and sadness and a reaction and hesitation, they are not my nature. That's why I want to get rid of it. I feel discomfort. No, I don't want to live. See that? That is the journey. If we are serious enough and the mind is ready, then next question comes that how to proceed ahead. Or you can ask a different question. So if you have what is this, why it happens, there is another route. So let us take a straight question. I am suffering, I experience, I am dissatisfied, I am unhappy, I react. Is it a curse or is it a blessing? Answer this question to your mind. What is this? In order to understand that, we all are adult. Yeah, yes, we all are adult. We have reached adulthood. What a big deal. Depending on our age and our experiences. Isn't it, John? We all are adult. Very good. Thank you. So we are moving together. Now compare the adulthood of animal kingdom with the human being. Then we will find out if we are really reached to the adulthood or not. You see how Masters gives us the deeper insight. So you see that, take an example of your pet. Sophie's pet I saw a couple of times. So cat. Baby is born. Ultimately, they reach to a certain height and the shape. After that, they cannot increase their height in. Yeah. That is what the animals and that is what the human being. We both have the same, right? So physical adulthood is reached by all the animals and they don't have any problem. Do you see that? They don't have any problem. Tiger doesn't have a problem that how come elephant is so big? Why I cannot be so big? We have a problem. Do you experience this? Go to the memory lane. Look at, her husband is so good. Mine. We are only two, John, so no problem. His wife, his house, animals do not have problem. Are you clear? That is our problem. That is the me world. Are you understanding? So even after reaching the stage of physical adulthood by every human being, we have another challenge. What is that challenge? It is my mind says, you are more beautiful. You have a bigger house. You have more money. Your husband is better. My wife is better. And long list. Animals do not have a problem. Now returning to the question, have we really reached to the adulthood? That is the question I'm posing. Animals, they do not have a choice because their mind is controlled by the nature, so they don't have a problem. But our mind has a freedom, a free will. Do you see that? So is the freedom of this intellect is a curse or a blessing? This is what I wanted to ask. Did you understand that point? Animals are happy. Tiger is happy with his shape and the size and the strength. We are not happy. Say if you are happy. You're not happy. So there's an unhappiness in the mind. There is a dissatisfaction in the mind. Tiger is not unhappy, elephant, you may have a big shape, then what? I am full in myself. I have reached to the sense of adulthood. No problem at all. Do we have a problem? Yes. Do we have a mental maturity? No. Do we have an emotional maturity? No. Yes? So we said yes, and then we don't have that. You can say we don't have that emotional and a mental adulthood. So it is a curse if I continue to live with the same mental and emotional immaturity in the world. But it is a blessing because now I can recognize and I can remove them. That begins the journey of Eastern wisdom. And then we see that how I can achieve that. Okay, become seeker, qualify for that. So when I qualify, I become a seeker. In becoming a seeker, we have understood this me word is created by the mind that causes the unhappiness, dissatisfaction, fear, and insecurity in me. Are you clear? And because I continue to live with mental and emotional immaturity, that causes many weakness. I become uncontrolled. I suffer loneliness. See that? I contract my mind. Do you see that? Until we are 100% honest to ourselves in the mind and intellect, we cannot discover permanent peace and happiness. We start living with the low awareness, animal mind, impulses, and instinct. And they are expressed in thought, speech, and action. Hi, I'm okay. I have a problem. 99% of the problems is related to emotion and mind. Have you seen any animal complaining? No, these masters who who dedicated their entire life in the Himalayas or the forest, they never met anyone for years to contemplate and reflect and find out what is the cause and how to remove that cause, how to reach to the ultimate state of peace and happiness. Not only one master, every master repeated the same principles and they have reached to the same conclusion. That it is the me word that is causing all this problem because I don't see the real world. It is covered by the me word, and that me word makes me so much selfish. We will understand that word selfishness. Now, yes, we have understood that we express by thought, speech, and action that me world living in me. I live with that sense of immaturity. I'm using a very soft word, mental immaturity. Reaction, anger, hesitation, duality, conflict. We all have done somewhere, sometime in our day-to-day life also. And we are ready to do that. I love you, I love you, I love you. How dare you touch me? Get out. That love and the hate relationship continues, emotional and mental maturity. Do you agree that all the animals, more or less, are predictable? Are we predictable? Are we predictable? Who knows when that emotional and mental immaturity prompt me to fight, to angry with you and say enough is enough. Divorce. No, divorce with the situation, with the person, I'm not talking only of partner relationship. And later on you repent. Have you not repented? Go to the memory lane. Go to the memory lane. No, we are understanding. I'm not digging your past. And once they return, I repent. And that is what the life continues. That is how I explain it. You become a soulmate and then soulmate and then marriage, etc., etc. We find a self-medication that is not a solution. Say, for example, I have divorced you. So people find out from the social standpoint that how intelligently I hide my own weaknesses to say that I divorce you because you are not good. In any situation, any condition. But Master asks, you are not qualified, means I'm not qualified to live with a person. That is why I divorced you. Did you understand? From that point of view, now understand. Go to the memory lane and find out. You will realize that my mind did a blunder. My emotion did the blunder in the past. Can't I be little tolerant to you instead of self-medication that is divorce? Are you getting it? Anyhow, any husband, every husband and wife says, I have been so much tolerant. Now enough is enough. You are not qualified. Simple thing, you are not qualified. You are not qualified to face, to live in a situation, condition with the people inside. If someone leaves you, even when you are qualified, good. Are you getting it? That is mental and emotional adulthood. We have to listen very hard words coming from these masters. They challenge all our wrong notions. Think of this. I've been so kind, but he or she left me. No, you were not kind. You were kind outside. You were posing a kindness. How can the kindness, which is such a positive quality, can create any conflict? No, I have always taken care of others. Oh, taken care? Because of selfishness? We are unpredictable. Animals are really predictable. What we have in the mind inside and what we express, they are different. Our masters say, as long as it is different, you will remain unhappy. Do whatever you want to do. So we need a fundamental change in our life. Simple one line answer. Physical adulthood, all the animals, they don't have mental or emotional challenges. No comparison, no regret, no reaction. After that, once they reach the adulthood, they continue horizontally. 60s, whatever is their age, they die. Finished. But we don't have. So here the master concludes that no objective solution to the subjective problem. How much I blame you for my miseries, I'm searching an objective solution for my subjective problem. I'm unhappy inside. I'm dissatisfied inside. I'm reacting inside. I have fears inside. So these are not the result of you, any situation, any condition. It is because of me. Once you 100% sure about it, you can start the journey and you can get rid of the problem. As long as you blame and complain and react others, the world, nothing will happen. It's my problem. Emotional and mental problem are mine. Are you getting it? We are clear about this. You can ask even the question in between, so no problem. So now the entire talk today come down to one phrase. What is that one phrase? I want, I want, I want. I want that coming from the me word. I want everything more and more. And I want to give less and less to others. Why? Because of the me word. Why? Because of the three diseases. Let me explain it a little bit. I want not peace and happiness, but I want object or a person to secure happiness for me. That I want continues. That makes me selfish. Did you get it? Compare it with animals. Give them the food. Animal mind, because it is governed, dictated by the nature. Our mind is free. It's a blessing, but it becomes a curse. Why you didn't behave like this? Why you didn't act like this? I want, I want, I want, I want. Ask yourself. Go to the memory lane. Find out in your relationship that I want. That mantra keeps running. I can give you less. I was reading the Forbes magazine recently, and they surveyed closely for about 9 months the 100 stores who gives heavy discount during the festive season. They found only 15 stores gives you the real discount. The rest 85 stores, big stores. I don't want to name it because it's a live session we are recording. 85 big stores, they raise the price on the festive season. After that, they say it is 85% discount, and everyone rush. Do you see? Economy predicted $85 billion sale. Don't go there. What is my mental and emotional attitude? That is what I'm talking. I'm not talking about economics. Are you getting it? So that I want mantra keeps repeating in my mind, and that causes the problem. I do not want peace and happiness, but I want different objects to secure happiness. Not possible. Not at all possible. No object contains the peace and happiness. No objects. No person contains the happiness. If the John contains permanent peace and happiness, then why only Sophie? I will also run after him. No, just an example. I will not allow Sophie to meet John. No, that's just an example. Don't stretch your mind too far. Just an example. So you do I live with that awareness? That no object, no situation, no condition, smaller house, big house, it is not going to make me happy. Reflect on this for 5 minutes and tell me, is your mind not relaxed now? Mind runs after the different objects and people and situation outside. That's why that's why we have a wandering mind. That's why we have a distraction. So I reflected on it so that I want drops. Mind is clear. That mind is ready for the journey. That ready for the journey. A master used to say in his monastery, there was a mango tree. Just see and observe, this mango tree does not want to be a fig tree. It wants to be itself. But because of the I want mantra in the mind, we always want to be like others. We don't want to be like myself. Are you getting it? Look at those animals. So that is why I said blessing and a curse. This I want mantra causes in my mind a sense of incompleteness. Tell me if it is not true. There is a sense of incompleteness. Result? Fear, insecurity, anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict, confusion. We're going deeper. So because of this mantra, I want, and I want something from the world to fill the sense of incompleteness, to be happy. And we have been trying every day, every week, every month for years and years. Nothing has happened. This is the greatest delusion we live in. Greatest dissatisfaction we live in. I'm satisfied with myself, that's all. Good. Now check the mind. The moment the mind has a mantra, I want, dissatisfaction, unhappiness, incompleteness. Find out anything, any word, any speech, any thought. So our master says that am I qualified? Are we qualified to live in the world so beautiful? And that can happen only by the knowledge that is expressed in thought, speech, and action. So I should qualify by getting the knowledge, understanding it, clarity, practice it to change the mind, and then I should express in the thought, speech, and action. So the last thing that, and then we will start our practice. If our mind contemplates and reflects, the word is self fulfillment, not others' fulfillment. When there is a this mind and emotion is 100% clear, I want self fulfillment. I do not want desire fulfillment. Desire means I want. We have a joke in India that neighbor's wife is always more beautiful than mine. You can add everything into it. Not wife, replace it with house and car. It's a very pet phrase. My mind is always looking outside with one word, I want. Desire fulfillment at the physical level is must. We have to meet it: food, shelter, clothes, home, and include the professional basic necessities. I should have the computer. I recently bought a very expensive camera. I need it. They do not give any emotional and mental problem. I need it for the profession. Physical needs. But I want emotional and mental needs to be fulfilled by a situation, by a condition, by a person, by a thing, by a country, by a city, by a politician. Not possible. All problems and the miseries are there. It will not come in a day. I have to complete. I have to constantly think and contemplate to get rid of this I want in the mind that qualifies me. And once I have that, I become a qualified seeker. I'm ready for the practice. We all are qualified. Let us start our practice. Eyes are closed. So I'll continue. So remember the format that we